Hey guys, and welcome back to the channel. So in this video we're going to be doing a new top 10 LR tier list because we've had a lot of new LRs come out and I think it's time to kind of do another updated one. I know I did one at the start of this anniversary, but we did get an ECA and we got two new LRs in the part 2 celebration, so we're going to be talking about all that jazz and all that. Again, this is all going to be my own opinions. I'm going to go into each detail on why of the placements, so don't get don't skip around too much, and if you do want to skip around, just scroll back a little bit so you guys could hear my full-on explanation, because sometimes I get questions asked or like certain responses to things I cover, so just kind of make sure that you kind of like jump around if you're going to be jumping around, and because I'm going to be telling you guys a lot of information about a lot of these units and kind of stuff like that, and my reasoning for some of the placements. So we might even change some placements here and there. Not everything here will be exact, so maybe it will be. We'll see. There's some like I'm kind of like on the fence about, and kind of stuff like that. So by the way, if you're new to the channel, hit that like and sub button. We're almost at 2,000 subscribers, and that'll be really cool if you guys want to join, man. It's free, it's cool, and I appreciate it. So let's go ahead and talk about the first thing on the list. I actually have Golden Frieza and Android 17. So this was a unit that I kept kind of going back and forth on. I was like, do I even really want to put this unit on the list? Do I think that they're better than Super Saiyan 2 Gohan or any of these units? No, but they do a lot, right? They do a lot. They have damage reduction, right? Like, let's go over their entire passive. They have like a very distinct passive. So they greatly raise attack for one turn. It causes colossal damage to the enemy. Raises attack for one turn, causes mega colossal damage to the enemy, and lowers attack and defense. I like that a lot because these guys could hit pretty hard. When I did their Extreme Super Bad Road video, which by the way, this is where they're pretty good at. It's Extreme. They were hitting 4 million attack stats pretty regularly, so they were doing very good. Their passive is, it's a pretty good passive, especially because you have a great chance of launching up to 2 additional attacks. So getting this extra 70% attack and defense is actually pretty quick. They do give themselves key, so obviously they get up to 7 key. If they do 3 attacks, you get 3 extra key there. Reduces damage received and raises chance to perform a critical hit by 10% with each attack performed within the same turn. So if you have them rainbow, they can be doing 3-4 attacks. So they are very strong, and I definitely got to really push that narrative. They are really strong. They might not look it with like attack numbers and stuff like that, but as a turn 1 unit, these guys are very good, and they're not restricted to anything. Like, they don't need anybody being by them. You got an MVP 17, you put them next to each other, they're going to be doing pretty good. They also have a pretty good active score. They give key 7 and does defense 77%, performs a critical hit for 1 turn, can be activated after performing 4 or more super attacks during battle once only. So the active is pretty good. Decent link set. Their stats are pretty decent. I think they deserve to be on the top 10 for now. I felt kind of weird not putting them on here. And again, they also have a pretty decent lead too. So they're not bad at all. Like, obviously, if I'm putting them in the top 10, I'm still like iffy for future videos that I want to leave them here. I feel like it felt right leaving them because, again, they're, they just popped out and they are very good. I have had a lot of play with them, and as like a turn 1 unit, they do the job pretty well. There's other units that do a better job turn 1, so I think top 10, like being at the 10th slot, is fine. Number 9 is actually UI Goku. Obviously, the biggest argument that's going to be on this list for me personally, it's defense is awesome, but what the hell is the point of defense if you could just dodge and literally cancel it out, right? So that's kind of like my thought process on that matter regarding dodging, right? If you could dodge, what the hell's the point of having a defensive stat? So UI Goku's dodging is definitely very, very impeccable. He could hit very, very high attack stats. He has very high stats, great link set, great turn 1 unit, great turn anything unit, right? He could be great from turn 1 to building all the way up in a long event, right? So I definitely got to give it to Goku to be number 9. He's still extraordinarily strong. I do think he's a very prevalent unit in the meta still, especially now with the inclusion of the Master Uncharted Goku. I believe that you could truly use him for a lot of different events, and he's very good still. One of the best units in the game, without a doubt. I definitely would put him up comfortably above this. And mind you, this is going like in towards the new meta. Like, if we're doing like a stacking video, I could probably throw up Gohan and the Blue Fusions above a lot of these people. But the new meta seems to be turn 1 units. That seems to be the big thing, right? Turn 1 is like a very big standard now with LRs. We're going towards a new meta, so we kind of have to keep that in mind when making these LR tier lists. It's all about basically what they could do not only long term, but in the short term too, and the amount of things they could do in the short term definitely outweighs the units that could stack. So we'll leave it at that. So yes, UI Goku is phenomenal still. I do have LR Jiren as number 8 on this list. LR Jiren is an exceptional unit. Has he fallen off a little bit? Yeah, here and there, but he's still like phenomenal. Like you could still probably keep him higher on this list. Personally, you could throw him up maybe like 6 if you really want to. The only reason why I have him as number 8, which, okay, this is going to be the one that everyone's going to turn their heads, which is why I even gave you guys that disclaimer, because I've seen like my boy Mr. Baby, and I've seen a lot of other people say this unit might be the best unit in the game. I completely disagree, and I've used them a lot at Rainbow level. I have them above Jiren, which, by the way, I almost had Jiren above them, but when I actually did like the maths, even though when Jiren's like doing a 5 million attack stat, being effective against all types, these guys could really be hitting like an 8 million attack stat. So it's like they're still going to be doing more damage. Their links are pretty decent, you know, stuff like that. Their active skill is very cool. You know, they do a lot. They're also support, so like they do a lot. Jiren, if you had one extra thing, I would probably throw him above him, but he's just a flat out, you know, dingleberry unit who just hits very hard and has good defensive numbers, which is great though. I love him still. I do have him as 8. These guys as number 7. Let me go ahead and explain that. I'll give you guys a good explanation on why. I've had a lot of time to use them in a lot of different situations. I could tell you they are one of the most situational units in the entire game. Needing 5 units from rep 7 is not hard if you're just rating them on rep 7, but I have to take points off. Obviously, I have to take points off. That's 5 freaking units, right? That's not like, oh, you need to be next to one person, like next to a Goku unit, or a target, you know, like a full cat, like target Goku, you know, stuff like that, right? Sorry, that's a rant. Let me come back. That's too much of a restriction, in my honest opinion, for what they do. Because guess what? There's someone else on this list that hits 8-9 million attack stats. So here's my question to you. All the units that hit 8-9 million attack stats, should they be super high on the list? I get they do have high defense, but there's a lot of units that could have high defense on top of doing 8 million attack stats nowadays. Like that, to me, that's not that impressive anymore, because so many units do that. You know, you had Jiren come out who could do that basically. He does a 6 million attack stat. He's effective against all types. That pretty much equates to a 9 million attack stat on top of his active skill and all that jazz. It's very easy for him to get that number. You know, Go Frieza could do this guy's numbers pretty easily, like a lot of the time, without the restriction. So the restrictive part of their passive definitely lowered it for me. I know this might turn a bunch of heads, but that's just, again, my personal take on it. I don't like super restrictive cards in Dokkan. I just don't. It's not my thing. It's a reason why LR Gohan was never as high as he should have been. It's because he was so restricted to him transforming. So I have to keep that in mind. I have to be fair here. I just can't say, oh, it's a brand new shiny unit, he's number 1, top 3. He's not, because I like the units above him more than him anyways. But yeah, the restriction definitely hurts him. Don't get me wrong, the 8 million attack stats are phenomenal. 200k defense, it's great, but at the same time, it's just too restrictive. There's like a lot of that passive is like literally because of them being on that team. So it's a bit unfortunate. Like they're losing attack and 70% attack and defense here. Like that's a huge drop if you don't have a full rep 7 team. And I'm sorry, that's a lot. Then you could get a plus when key 22 is more. That's cool. It's not too hard to get through 24 keys. I'll be honest. Yeah, and like that part of the passive is cool too. But the 22 key part and that, it's just very restrictive. I like their support a lot. You know, raise it, like the 30% is cool and the 7% is cool. I've seen that. And that's just my honest take on it. You guys could definitely disagree, but Big Oonga Boonga is just not my playstyle. Personally, Big Oonga Boonga attack stats aren't me. Personally, right? Everybody has their preference. That's not mine right now. Not mine. So let's go ahead and move on to number 6. Yes, obviously I'm gonna have Buhan. I think Buhan is better than all these guys. Oh, damn it. Sorry. Why did I do that? Hold on. Like a freaking doofus. There we go. And then we'll just push that back. There we go. Sorry. I would probably I like Buhan more. Yeah, he's a stacking unit, but he could still hit very good numbers. Very good defensively. Amazing link set. Categories. And he's just a really fun unit. Like, maybe you could make the argument. Like, look, if they weren't so restrictive with the extra passive, I would just throw them like that. Or maybe I could just leave it like that, personally. Again, we'll talk more about it throughout. But Buhan's is so good. Like, he heals, he seals, you know, he stacks. He's just a great freaking unit, but I guess in a turn 1 situation, this man would probably be better. So maybe I could actually move that around and do like then, like so it's a 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, and move him down to 6. I can't make that argument for STR Vegito. I just can't, because again, this transformation is still probably the most damaging thing in the entire game, personally. Like, he hits so stupidly hard, so intensely powerful that and he has damage reduction, and he raises attack and defense for 1 turn. Like, his passive is very small, but his stats are very big, and he's just all around great link set, great categories, stuff like that. He's not restricted too much. He's just like, yeah, you have to dip below HP. Once this man's out, a 9 million attack stat, this man is going to do a 5 million attack stat on top of crits. Damage adds up, right? On top of counters and crits and stuff like that. So I do feel confident, you know, I feel more comfortable, I guess, putting Buhan here and leaving this guy here. But I don't think I can't say they're better than STR Vegito, personally. I can't jump to. I just can't. I can't say Vegito. But I could say Buhan. Buhan, sure, but Vegito, nah, not as a whole, at least. Like, yeah, like, they're definitely better than this form. But when Super Vegito pops off, bro, he's popping the hell off, right? So, and he's not restricted. This is very restricted, and it's really me, like, pushing it by saying that I could put them above Buhan. Because, again, it's very restrictive, but I do know how powerful they can be, for sure, from all the times I've used them. They're phenomenal, but I just can't say that they're better than Vegito. Personally, I can't. And then obviously Turles, there's literally nothing wrong with Turles. No HP restrictions, no turns, nothing about being with other units. Literally nothing. He stuns. He has a high chance of stunning. He raises attack. He's a support, 3 key, 30%. There's a double active skill. He can hit 7 million attack stats on top of being effective against all types. Amazing link set, great categories. Great for extremes for Battle Road, long events. He clears quick as hell. One of the most stupid units in the game. I could probably say SDR, like, I could say, make the argument that this man is going to be better. But the thing is, the amount of things that Turles does is more than these two, personally. Just because of that support. That 3 key, the stunning, you know, everything that he does is just very, very good. And I definitely have to highly, highly recommend him as number 4 on this list. Again, Vegito could definitely be higher than him for sure, but again, I just personally enjoy Turles because, again, that turn 1 stuff is very cool, but he's not restrictive. This guy is very cool too, because here's the thing, right? Here's the thing I gotta paint a picture about. When you're effective against all types, you're getting that extra, what, 1.6 multiplier, 1.5 multiplier. When this guy is hitting a 6 million attack stat, which is pretty easily, add a 1.5 multiplier to that, or even more than that. Or when they do a 7 million attack stat. So, like, these guys are getting like a bottom line 8 million attack stat, no effective against all types. This man is hitting a 6, 7, could even hit an 8, and also be effective against all types pretty easily. You know, then when the enemy's stunned, or when launching additional super attack when key is 24. You know, or wait, what was it? Attacks effective against all types, and high chance of launching additional super attack when 24 is, yeah, there you go. So every time they hit a 24 key super, they're effective against all types, and they have a high chance of launching additional super attack. So doing that's a lot of damage, being effective against all types. So in terms of damage, I would probably say Turles is probably better than them. 8 million attack stats are great and all, but when you have that effective multiplier, you have to really think about that, because an effective 7 million is probably higher than a 9 million, personally. So, and their defensive stats is going to be like 250 usually, and it's going to be it's going to be like them, but the difference is they don't need any other units. Their 70% attack and defense isn't tied behind anybody. That 200k defensive stat is by their own doing. So, and they're also supporting their rotations, and they're just doing a whole lot of damage all in all. So I would probably just say, yeah, I think that they're better than these two. Turles is amazing. The Turles squad is really good. So in that explanation, I feel pretty confident with having these guys here. You could maybe make the argument saying that they're better than SDR Vegito, but personally, I don't know. Like, yeah, but again, my personal playstyle, Vegito's a bit cooler, you know, not restrictive, stuff like that, honestly, and it's just all around a great unit. So let's go ahead and move on to the top 3. Obviously, Go Frieza I have as number 3 in the entire game right now. The only reason why I don't have him as number 1 or 2 Only reason. It's because the thing that hurts him the most, you can't put him in the first slot. You cannot make the argument of putting them in the first slot unless there's no attack sir. They get absolutely destroyed in the front slot. And Extreme Super Battle, these motherfuckers were taking 40k from normals. Just straight 40ks, dude. It was really bad. 50ks even. Like, it was significantly bad in the first slotters. Second they super, they took 160k from UI Goku without any support items. They are absolutely mad when they get to super. Their defense shoots up to like 300k almost, or maybe a bit higher than that. Like your defense jumps up so dramatically. You just can't see it, unfortunately. But yeah, turn one, they're not going to be doing very well. They're hitting 9-10 million attack stats. Easy. 12 million. No, they were hitting like 12 million attack stats pretty easily. Like, there's probably the best unit attack, the APT wise, right? But here's the thing about Vegeta and Goku. The one thing that we have to kind of remember, it's that crits do a lot of damage. Don't get me wrong, Frieza could be doing crits, but these guys have it built into their passive where they're going to be launching 50% crits. Basically they have a 50% chance of their super attacks becoming crits, and then they have a 30% chance of launching an additional super attack. So the damage that they output at a rainbow level is absolutely maddening. It's absolutely absurd. So in terms of damage, I would probably say, like, they all might kind of be very similar, because again, 12 million is a lot. But again, if this man's launching a 5 million attack set, all by about 3 million, and both of them are crits because of his passive, that's a lot of damage. That's a lot of damage that you're activating. And then they have the revival. That's the one thing too that I like to keep in mind. They have revival, and they also have their active skills. So you have to add those into the equation as well, to their damage multipliers. So I would probably say I do like them a bit more. Maybe you can make this argument. I might actually make this argument, saying Goku is better than Vegeta. I've seen a lot of people talking about that. I like Vegeta a lot, but his defensive capabilities are kind of the same thing. In the sense that he only gets 10% damage reduction. He has to get hit twice to get up to 30%. So it's like, yeah, it's good, but is it really better than this? And the only reason why MUI is like a clear in the front is because this active skill is a lot better, in my personal opinion, than Vegeta's, and also that they're dodging like Goku's dodging 70%, right? And like I mentioned earlier on in the video, 70% versus what? What was it? How did I say that? Hold on. 70% versus complete dodging on an attack. Obviously this is going to be better. Then the attack numbers are going to be just fine anyways, because again, 5 million on top of a 3 million attack set. There's a lot of freaking damage that they can do, right? There's a ton of damage that they could actually drop all over the place. So I would probably say MUI and then go Frieza personally as number 2. Maybe Vegeta could be, I don't know. It's just Vegeta's defense is not what I would like it to be. And these guys, like, you throw them in the second slot, bro. These guys are like tanking literally everything in the world on top of hitting a 12 million attack stat. So you know what? I hate to be that guy for Vegeta. I think I'm gonna say Go Frieza is better than Vegeta. Bottom right, just bottom line, because again, the defense is not that big of a difference, man. It's just not hitting that hard. For me with Vegeta, at least, right? It's Vegeta's defense is just not there, unfortunately for me. It's good. It's definitely very good, but it's not them when they super attack. Like Vegeta could definitely do better in the first slot, but these guys, dude, I don't know. I'm probably gonna say Goku is better than Vegeta. And the only reason why I'm going to say Goku's better is because of his dodges. I'm just going to be completely transparent. I would probably even say Go Frieza could be better than Goku. If Goku didn't have his dodges, I would probably put Go Frieza above him. Just completely blatantly honest, if Goku didn't have his dodges, Go Frieza would be above him right now. But he does. And yeah, but I think I would probably say Go Frieza's number 2. Goku number 1. So yeah, I feel pretty confident with this list. You know, this was a 20-minute video. Typically, I don't like to make these too long, but we kind of did, which I'm kind of glad I did, because I feel like there's going to be a couple things here and there. A lot of guys might be like, hey man, like this isn't very cool. So I definitely want to go ahead and explain myself as well as I could, right? So number 1, we have Master introducing Goku. Number 2, we have Go Frieza. Number 3, we have Vegeta. Number 4, we have LR Turles. Number 5, we have STR Vegito. Number 6, we have LR Android 17. Number 7, we have Wuhan. Number 8, we have Full Power Jiren. Number 9, we have UI Goku. And number 10, we have Golden Frieza and Android 17. So again, this is all my opinions. Keep that in mind, please. You know, just keep it easy on me a little bit, please, boys. Because again, these are just opinions. So you guys could say I'm wrong. That's fine. You know, this is just kind of like my own personal play style and my personal experience with the game. Everybody's different, right? I've seen a lot of different takes all over the place, and I think that's cool. You know, it's always cool to hear different sides of things. I look forward to your conversations. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. Like and sub, do all that greatness. We'll see you guys next time. Take care and peace out, everybody.